Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome. And don't scroll down, so stop right there and let's talk. And are are you happy being unhappy? Isn't that interesting, right? Sometimes the way our life is that we get and we start to feel comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? Because if things are going not so good, but that becomes your comfort zone, so it you don't want to leave that comfort zone, but you're still unhappy, but you're with being unhappy. Does that make sense? So I wanted to talk about this today because I realize sometimes people are so stuck and they are so unhappy, but it's so hard for them to shift and move out of that because it's not their comfort zone, right? And why do I want to talk about it? Because I've helped so many clients over so many years, more than 15 years now, and tens and thousands of, I think more than 20,000 people, and even more when I look back in total of my journey, more than 50,000, I guess. Um, so I have helped them shift from feeling unhappy and stuck and being in that zone of I don't like it, but it's my comfort zone, right? And that allows you to stay in that space. And it's hard to shift out of it because you're so used to it. And you know very well how to react if something happens in that zone, right? But if we don't know and we go out of that zone, we don't know how to then react. That is when you need a coach or a mentor to help you shift from that comfort zone where you are actually uncomfortable, unhappy, and not living your life to the fullest, to start to shift into being happy. But this is an unknown zone, and how do you get happy in that zone, right? So this is where I help people in that transition, as well as to move into this phase, the whole lot phase. So if you are definitely going through that, feel free to connect with me. Okay, I can help you one on one, or I do offer a lot of workshops. I also wanted to talk about it. I'm going to give you a tip on how to do that. But before I forget, tomorrow, if you have anxiety, oh my God, tomorrow you don't want to miss it, okay? Which is the 21st Eastern Time. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. is when I'm going to help you release your anxiety. We're going to talk about what is anxiety, how it affects you, what it does to you, and how can we shift it. And we're going to make sure to clear that tomorrow for you, okay? I will be giving you tons and tons of tips. Okay, so you definitely don't want to miss that. But at the same time, it's also about spiritual awakening. What is happening as a result? Like sometimes you're having a spiritual awakening and you're actually not aware of it. Okay. So you are getting that anxiety as well. So is it together or is it separate? We're going to discuss about that. All right. So the afternoon part from 2 to 5 is going to be ask me all your questions on that and I will be answering you that. Okay. So it is going to be a wonderful time if you have or if you have not signed up. I have few spots left. There's a link here. Please click on that and join. Okay. Once you join, I will send you a Zoom link. It'll be on Zoom. But let's come back to how when you are unhappy, okay, and that feels comfortable and but it's like I'm not comfortable, I am having issues, I am stressed all the time, and I need to make this shift. And how do I make the shift? It is scary to make that shift. I have gone from it myself. I have gone from having a corporate job to a totally different kind of a job, which I could never fathom or imagine myself to be a coach, to be a speaker. I've always done that, but not as a profession. So it was initially, yes, scary. It was initially like, how am I going to do this? I don't know if I can do this. And, being a healer, being a Reiki master, and then becoming the golden light and like, oh my God, I have to help people. I have to help the world, which I always did. But then, you know, how when you're uncomfortable in this zone, I know everything how to do here, but oh my God, I don't know how to do this, right? So it was a total new learning experience for me. And that's my dog, just ignore him. I've put him outside the room, so he's like, I want to come in. But stay there. So, so we're going to be talking about how from here, where you are in that uncomfortable zone, you can come into a zone which is unknown and which can become comfortable, even though it is scary. So, the first part is the transition part. But before the transition part, there's the pre transition part, which is being okay with transitioning into the zone. That's the part, okay? Because people try to jump from this part to directly here, and that is what is scary. So that's why you go back here, and then you are like, no, and I want to think about it. I'm okay here. And I've had a lot of people, I have coached a lot of people, I have guided a lot of people. They would come in for, guidance, or they would come in for a reading, or they would come in with like, I want to do this, I want to do that. But then they get to know about it and they're like, oh my God, I can't do this. Okay. Then I always tell them, let me help you, coach you, and mentor you. Let me help you, take you from here, and let me guide you from here into the transition. Let me transition you. Let me first make you aware of it. Let me help you in the transition phase, and then I'll bring you here, right? So that is, I take you through I call it my golden light process, where I move you through that. The different coaches who do that, different things, but I have created my own unique method, my golden light method, where you are you are held, by my hand, like guided totally. I'm holding your hand through every phase and guiding you through it. And where you're not scared, you've got my back. You know you're not going to fall down, and it's not, you're going to be okay, and you will not go and hide back into there, because you've got somebody who will be like, okay, I'm here, you can get through it. So I help people with that part. So if you are one of that person who is going through that, and if you're watching this live or replay, definitely put it in there, me, so that I know. And if you want to describe where you are, sometimes it could be a situation where you are uncomfortable with your personal relationship and you're struggling. You know, the big part which I have helped people with the struggle in relationships when they go through. I've gone through it. Everybody goes through it, but it's knowing how do we get through it? How do we get out of it? How can we make better relationships, whether it's with personal, people in the family, or friends or colleagues, and or supervisors, or your seniors or juniors. How do we create a balance? And learning to create that balance is very important. But you cannot do anything if you, I've had people say, oh, I can do it, I have done it, and I always say that's amazing. And then there are people who will be like, I don't know how to do it, but I don't want to do it. I don't want anybody to guide me. It's their ego, but they're still stuck. I've met people who told me they need help, but they don't want that help. So 4 years back they were there, and they're still there. Nothing has shifted, because they're procrastinators. But if you really want to make that shift, I can help you, because I helped. Um, I'm going to give you an example, okay? Um, the big one, I'm going to talk about my own life, okay? That's the big one, because if I've gone through it, I've done it, I can help someone else, right? Not because that's a personal experience. that's a personal shift with all the things I have learned myself and I created that. Okay. So, like I said, coming from a corporate world, doing an MBA, banking and finance, and doing all of that wonderful stuff, and then coming into a total different holistic business and being an entrepreneur, right? Being an entrepreneur, not knowing an ABC about this business and what to do and how to do it, and being a healer, which was like totally like different ball game. Okay. And then becoming a coach, which was entirely different, but which I loved. But making that shift while I was doing that, it was scary. It was like, can I do that? And there were times where I was, scared. Like, if I did a mistake, you know, I could hurt that person's life, right? And, but luckily, as because of being who I am and my training and the receiving the guidance of being the golden light and having that insight and the gifts, I was given that gift and was shown that. And accordingly, I was able to guide people, right? But uh, then I was able to tell them exactly what to do. And as they followed that through, they were able to get better and shift from this to the transition to moving into the right, and then moving forward and creating a lifestyle for themselves. Um, but as I was saying, I was scared, you know, and that was perfectly normal. But the big part was to accept feeling scared. And that takes courage, that takes time, to accept, like, I'm scared. I coming from that background, can I do this? I don't think I can do this. So there was that fear of, I don't know, like, literally, can I do this? And if it even comes out to be trusting, like trusting myself about it, and will it happen or not happen? But and a lot of people suffer through that, and that's why I'm talking about it. The trust issue comes up. I'm not good enough, I don't have the experience, all that comes up, right? But when you have the guidance, when you have somebody holding your hand and saying, I'm going to help you get through this, then it's easier. And that's what happened with me. I was given that guidance, I was given that help, I was held, you know. My teacher, being God, came literally, I talked to him 24/7, came through and said, okay, I'm going to help you. And because he said, you're going to help millions of people, and that's my mission. I want to transform 5 million people um, by 2025. That's my goal, right? So if you have something going on in your life and you need that guidance, you need somebody to help you and hold your hand, reach out to me because I can definitely help you. And but I will be taking you and guiding you through those phases of accepting yourself and letting you believe in you and bringing that trust within yourself, bringing the confidence, bringing the courage. So, making you shift and go through that different phases and getting you here and then creating that new lifestyle. Okay. Um, so, one tip, how do we start with all of that? Okay. I love doing that, right? I love giving you a tip. Um, what do you do? The tip would be to start with simple, a very, very, I keep life very simple. I'm, I'm not a very complicated person. Okay. So, very simple tip, connecting with your breath. Okay. Why? Because sometimes when you become so overwhelmed and you don't know what to do, and how do you do that? Just noticing your breath. Just close your eyes and notice your breath. That's it. It'll just help you ground yourself. That's the biggest piece, is helping yourself to ground. When you are grounded, it allows you to, I can do this. I can feel better. I can It's okay. I can allow first thing. Okay, I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm going to allow Bhavna. I'm going to give her my hand and let her pull me out. Okay. So it will also help you in deciding I don't want to procrastinate. I want to make a shift. I want to change my life. I want to be happy because I'm not happy being unhappy, right? You are stuck. I want to make that change. So it'll allow you to experience I can be happy. I can be peaceful. Now I want more of that. How can I get more of that? That's when I can help you, right? But try with that first. Try connecting with that. Try yourself. I always ask and push people. I always say that. I will push you. I will make you do what you think you cannot do, but that way you will start to believe in yourself. And when you do it, you'll be like, oh my God, I did this. I have helped every person, I've had this thriving practice, right? Every person in my practice, every practitioner, therapist, counselor, everybody who was there, I pushed them. I would give them, do this, do this, do this. And they would look at me. Sometimes they would hate me, but then they did that. And they were like, yes, I can do it. And they all left, when I closed the practice, they all left empowered, like, and they're all doing amazing wherever they are. I know they're amazing, doing amazing things. So I know that about myself. I do push people to get you to where you're supposed to be, and I don't give up on you. I am that one person you can trust. You've got my back. All right, with that, I hope you can join me if you feel anxiety or you're on your spiritual awakening and you have questions. Join me tomorrow, 11 to 1 p.m., and then 2 to 5. It's online. Click on the link and sign up, and I will see you tomorrow. All right? Love you guys. See you again. I'll see you Monday. Until then, have a great time, and I'll see you tomorrow if you sign up. Bye bye.